Everybody.
Go ahead.
Well, good evening, everybody. Once again, the one thing about the Jimmy Palumbo Show with me and Dave Sergio, we our first inning, we definitely give up 2 runs, but in the 8th, there's only 2 runs on that board right there. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Jimmy Palumbo Show, show number 173. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to show number 173. That's right, the Jimmy Palumbo Show coming in, and a beautiful start here to the show. We always start on a little off, but once we get settled down, we end up going 6 2/3.
Mhm.
And now Dave Sturchio's lighting looks better now. Don't know why. It just
I
did.
can't figure this out today.
And of course, this is show number 173. One Evan Neal, the recent bust in the Giants draft. Also,
You're atrocious. Go ahead. What's your next one?
One Jeff Weston, number
Jesus.
73,
You're
and
awful.
also 173, which means 1973, the last time the Knicks won a world championship.
No. One Larry Allen. Come on. He just passed away. Like he's a legend. How do you screw that up?
He's a legend for you. To me, he just kicked the shit out of
he's
the
a Hall of
Giants.
Famer, so it's not like I'm making this shit up.
I know, but I don't. Listen, you're a Cowboy fan. I respect Larry Allen, but the bottom line is Larry Allen's not going to make Venditti drive off the road. That's
fair.
But true. I'll give it to you. One Larry Allen at 73. Although the Knicks' last championship was much more impressive than Larry Allen. Back in 73, I was 8 years old. I was 8. That's awful. And you were 8 last time the Cowboys won. Same thing. Cowboys and Knicks both stink. All right. Well, show number 173. Of course, Dave Sturchio has all his engine lights on right now. He is like a young Sully, and he's got a big wrestling event coming up at Tiki Bar.
Great movie, by the way.
He's got an event next Tuesday, a week away at the Tiki Bar, and he does not have enough time to get to Teterboro or LaGuardia. He just might have to put it right down in the Hudson. No, that's not true. I know when you plan these big events, man, it's rough. There's all kinds of, you got to dot your I's, cross your T's, and everybody's texting you, I'm sure. Oh, we got this, we got that.
My phone is I've never felt so popular, but it's not even popular. It's like they need me. Like, I need you for this. I need you for this. I need you for this. I'm like, okay. All right. When do I get to breathe?
You know what? The Knicks want to talk it over. They want to talk it over.
I've been calling 20-second timeouts for the last 6 months, and it's just not been easy sledding, that's for sure. But listen, I'm super grateful for everything that's been happening and humble, and it's awesome. The pre-show was great, so we're good.
You're in that shitty part, right before the big game. So, but listen, if it goes well and the weather holds up and people show up, and you're going to make some money, and it's going to be good, and you'll know if you do it next year, your mistakes you made, didn't make, and stuff like that. I want to welcome Tyson Hogan and Joe Cinecor to the program here on the chat and comments. All right, well, let's see. July. Yep. The throes of summer. My friends know that after 4th of July, I always say the summer's over.
I say that too.
Which is a jerk off thing to say.
I know, but I say that too. I used to, when I was in school and we passed the 4th of July, I'm like, oh God, here's the holiday. It's over.
Yeah, then you get that flyer about the school supplies.
Right.
That makes you sick. No, it's just, you know what it is? From my shore house days, we had so much fun from Memorial Day to 4th of July. Like, we left, in other words, we had a huge lead in the division after 4th of July, and then it was just, we just coasted to the playoffs after that. But it starts to get hot down the shore and sticky, and some people love it. But
I'm still recovering from the weekend.
Yes, we're going to get to that in a second. I promise you, your big weekend. But of course, we do the baseball card thing at the top of the show. And I got another classic guy. This guy, you're not going to know who this guy is. I didn't know who he was either. Your friend and mine, Mr. Dave Angle.
Oh.
Now, as I say when I do this, the fans of this part of the show, there's always something about Dave Angle that makes me laugh. And when I did my research, I did find out, first of all, he played 9 years in the big leagues. I have his 88 card here. He played for Minnesota, Detroit, Expos, and Milwaukee. Lifetime batting average 262. He only hit 31 home runs and 181 RBIs. But some interesting stats about this young fella.
Play.
He hit the first home run in the Metrodome in '82 for the Twins. So you can't take that away from him.
These are things you can't take away from the guy.
There you go. He was a catcher, pinch hitter, and right fielder. The 3rd round pick in the '78 draft. First of all, the baseball draft, I think, is there 109 rounds? How does that work?
I think it's still going on from last year right now.
Yeah, it's like a constant thing. There's always someone on the clock for the Major League draft. But here's a fun, this is the first one. The first one was he hit the first home run at the Metrodome. He also was traded with 3 guys for Rod Carew. I thought that was interesting there. He was a USC grad. Okay. He won the minor league batting title. Okay. And he beat it by 1 point, 307 to 306. He beat out a guy you don't know who he is, Wade Boggs. That ring a bell?
Boggsy. Yeah, no, Boggsy.
So right away at the golf course, if I was Dave Angle, I'd be talking shit. At the minor leagues, I'd beat him out. No big deal there. Now, he also, and this is there's articles written on this, and I wish this would have been a great topic of discussion. He made the All-Star team in 1984. Okay. But for the year, he batted 266, 4 home runs, 38 RBIs, and he goes down as, if you Google worst all-star selections, he's in
he's
the
in
top
there?
3. Only because I don't even know if they had the rule. Every team has to be represented.
And that sounds like a little league rule, man.
It's awful. And so he went in there as that. Now, Jim Fregosi, a longtime manager, he's a good friend of Dave Angle's. He was asked, he was like, nah, Dave Angle never made the All-Star. Like, his good friend didn't even know he made the All-Star team. That's so unremarkable.
Dave Angle doesn't know he made the All-Star team.
Exactly right. Now, other stupid thing, and this is what I love about going on the internet and reading this shit. His dad, Dave Angle's dad, was like best friends with another guy you never heard of, pretty good hitter in his day, Ted Williams. So it's okay.
So nothing rubbed off.
So I think Ted Williams called the draft and said, "Hey, yeah, take this kid. He's a friend of mine." So
he's all right. Friend of the family.
He did some coaching, Astros and Mets. He's currently, I believe, still a scout for the Orioles. But here's the biggest thing about him. He was a good hitter, good contact hitter, pretty much his whole career, but they couldn't find a spot for him. There was other catchers that were better than him, but his main thing was he got the yips. And what would happen is he would catch the ball and he would lob it to the pitcher like a soft toss back to the pitcher. And when there's a run on base, like in one game, they stole like 3. He would lob it to the pitcher. The guy would just take off. By the time the pitcher got the ball, turned and threw to second, the guy was safe. A couple of times that happened. The manager was like,
he's like Rube Baker from Major League 2, where he couldn't get back to the pitcher. But
right. So after that, the manager was like, you can't really catch anymore. And they don't know if it was psychological, something with his shoulder, or they just don't know. And after that, he was only a DH. And then
did he look like when like a team is getting routed and they bring in the left fielder to pitch and he's just like lofting it?
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Back to the pitcher?
So that's why his career ended. But he kind of jokes about it now. But he always wonders what if, because he had the issue of getting the yips and then traded around and stuff like that. But it wasn't that bad of a player. He just didn't. It just didn't work out for him. So that's it. Dave Angle Day here from the Omni in Atlanta. Now, you probably don't have a card because you were running all over the place. Not today. So we'll just leave it as it's just a Dave. You know what? Because Dave Angle had the yips, we're just going to give it to Dave Angle today. That's
we don't want to like put any additional pressure on the guy. Like, we'll just have it. This is his show.
This is his day. I even looked him up on Twitter. I was going to send him a note. Like, we're talking about you on my podcast. I still think that's funny. These shitty guys. Imagine getting a message. Hey, honey, somebody's talking about me on the podcast.
There's some like egotistical maniacs out there that like constantly Google their names. You might be one of them. I don't know. But like, I know that like
every once in a while, I want to see what's out. Mostly when a movie comes out or something.
Yeah. For me, I'm just like, how far does it go back? I don't want it to go back to this year, but
you don't want it to go.
More than happy to go back to this year.
I get it. Anyway, that's it. Dave Angle. Now, of course, Patreon. patreon.com. All fans out there listening, go to patreon.com, Google the Jimmy Palumbo Show, and donate to help out support the show. Right now, we are officially mired in a slump at 42. We are stuck at Mariano Rivera. No 43, no Spider Lockhart. Can't believe that. But I want to give a shout to Dave Ben, my boy from Colonia. He was able to fix his credit card situation. Always appreciate that. And of course, Neil Goldhaber, Dave Shea, old Kappa Sig buddy of mine who I used to go with to Knick games when Jordan was just a guy who scored a lot. And of course, Jeff Fulgione and my nephew, Eric. He's always got good news surrounding him. All right. So that's my Patreon. Give it a shot. Support the show. God bless America. And of course, if you're ailing physically, you need to go to chasingmiracles.com. That's right. Shit your body needs. Chasing Miracles stem cell patches. Now, Donna, I always say, call Donna and Tommy at chasingmiracles.com. She was down in Belmar babysitting her grandkids while I was in Seagirt. And I think my mother buys like $10,000 worth of patches. Donna showed up, and I realized I haven't seen Donna. You know, it's one of those texting call. I haven't seen her in like 15 years, maybe, good 15 years. And maybe not that long, but long enough. And so she stopped by the house. It was great to see her. She asked about you. And I told him, listen, it seems like he's really enjoying the patches. So especially under this stressful week, they got all kinds of different ones now. So go to chasingmiracles.com. This stuff works. Better energy, better stuff, non-invasive. You can pee in the cup. They're patches. I am wearing them as we speak. I wear them when I play pickleball, and you could shower with them, the whole 9 yards. Chasingmiracles.com, stem cell patches. Look into this stuff. It's the hot new thing. Well, all right. Let's talk about the Yankees. You know what? They stink. And you know what it is? Same thing happened last year. Poorly constructed team, number one. First of all, Venditti is convinced the Yankees will play 200 baseball the rest of the way if every time they just walk Soto and Judge. Every time. First and second, if Verdugo stinks, the next guy, they all stink. But they have two guys batting under 185 and a third guy batting under 220. And they also don't hit for power. At least Giancarlo, when he's going lousy, he can rock one out every now and then. And clearly they miss his bat. Okay, so we know who's the best player on the Yankees. And he'll come back, and he'll come back like in 2 weeks. It'll be like September 18th when he finally figures out his swing. Yankees just that play this week, I know it's old news. That base hit, and Grisham came up to it like that was a softball play. And that to me, like, I think that's. Let me see if you agree with this. Don't you think that's a play where the guys on the team give him shit somehow?
All I know is if like Billy Martin was the manager, he'd never play again. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that is. There was so many, and we're talking about the other night lost to Boston. Obviously, there's games that we did rock them on Saturday, but like there's plays that are legitimately inexcusable as a major league baseball player, and like Volpe not busting it down the line, thinking like they asked him if he knew the rule, and I didn't even buy his response. Like he's like, yeah, I know that. Like, no, you didn't, because if you did, you would have been doing Mach 4 to the plate to try to get that run in. It's like that between the Grisham thing, and it's just like DJ LeMay, they're making so many fundamental mistakes.
They're like beer league softball plays. I mean, even in softball, I don't know why. Maybe my dad instilled it in me. I'm not so sure. When I'm on third base and even a guy gets a base hit, some guys just trot home. I always run. Again, I'm not fast, but I always run home at a good pace until I hit the bag. Because you know what happens? The jerk off who gets the single gets caught, and it's too. You just go. Make sure you cross that plate. And umpires in softball anyway, they certainly watch that. And in baseball, I mean, it's a comedy. And another thing, Volpe,
major league level. You know what I mean? Like, and Volpe this is a Boone thing too, man. I don't know how you feel about Boone at the current state of the Yankees, but like,
I'm starting to lose faith in him.
It starts there, and then it starts with Judge. Judge, you named him captain for a reason, right? It's not just to wear a C or like to just do all the Make-A-Wish shit. It's to be the leader of this team. And when things like this happen, he needs to be the voice. I don't need the whole team to like gang up on Grisham or gang up on Volpe, but he's got to come, to the side and say, "Hey, dude, you're in the majors, bro. This is your time to shine. You're only here because we have injuries."
But
you know what I mean?
Jeter,
like, make the best of it.
Jeter had a way of leading by example. He wasn't a rah-rah guy, but they all have their ways. They have ways to. Usually, a captain also will. There's got to be someone on that roster who is like a Paul O'Neill, the guy who's feisty. And a captain should kind of tell the feisty guy, "Hey, that was kind of bullshit there." So he delegates it. But they just look sloppy. If Volpe hasn't gotten a hit,
but these are also this is a perfect opportunity, Jimmy, for these are kids, right? So it's Volpe, it's Grisham, it's your kids. So now it's the perfect time to be like, "Hey, this is how it's got to be. You got to do it this way. Go rock." You know what I mean? Like, because
the only thing is, it's possible
you can't do this to a fucking Anthony Rizzo or a Giancarlo Stanton. You can't do that. Like, it would be too much. It would be detrimental to the team.
Maybe Boone said something to him. We don't know. We'll never know. And we shouldn't know either.
If I hear Boone one more time say it's all out in front of us, I'm going to lose my mind. Because you know what? Before you know it, Booney, it's not going to be all out in front of you.
No.
Before you know it, the Baltimore Orioles are going to catch fire even more than they already caught.
I believe
we're going to miss the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like,
we're the worst team. We're the worst team in the majors the last 3.5, 4 weeks.
Since June, since middle of June, we have the worst record. Yeah,
it's awful. The pitching is a mess. The bullpen. Volpe hasn't gotten a hit since Memorial Day weekend.
Your boy made the All-Star team. Clay Holmes.
Can you believe that? Oh my God!
If you want to put some money on something, the AL blows it in the ninth. There's
no doubt in my
guaranteed layup bet.
As a matter of fact, Dave Engel is calling Combs right now. It's just, I just don't like the way they play. And you got two guys who can hit everybody. Like LeMahieu, you stink. And by the way, I'm telling you right now. I think Volpe's in minute 14. I think the Yankees went all in, and why? Good looking fella. He's got the nice looking thing. He's got the Italian. He stinks.
Started off on a tear. He was on a tear. He's a good ball player. I just feel like when he dips, and it's not a good time to dip right now. The All-Star break couldn't come soon enough. I know it comes.
By the way, it's not the halfway point. We're in the second half. But anyway, listen, they can turn it around, I guess. I just don't know. Guys haven't hit. LeMahieu hasn't hit in 2 years. So why is he going to turn it around?
And the problem is they give you these little glimpses of hope, a la Saturday when they rack up 14 runs. You're like, there they are. And then the next night, they do nothing. You know what I mean?
Ben Rice all of a sudden is the new Lou Gehrig at first.
It's 3 home runs on Saturday.
But here's something about Ben Rice, okay? Again, this is maybe if I'm still doing the show 25 years from now, I may pull up a Ben Rice card. Remember him? You're playing for the New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium, okay? You grew up a Yankee fan, okay? Ben Rice has never been to Monument Park. Now, even now, I don't understand. Like, gets the hey, mom, I'm going to the game. I'm going to go to the stadium a half hour earlier. They got that Monument Park thing, arguably the most famous thing in any stadium. Okay, arguably. Okay, I'm going to go. How could you be taking ground balls at first base and 100 yards away from you is Monument Park and you haven't been there? Those gates are open is that incredible?
That is a little atrocious.
That would be like you not going to the Larry Allen Monument if you were on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Dave, have you seen it yet? No, it's right over there. No, I'm practicing right now.
I don't know if you know this, but Ben Rice has also been scheduled for Woodbridge Brewery. He is coming to sign autograph. All of a sudden, this kid is just. This is the problem. They just fluff these kids up. Like Clay Holmes was announced to go to Woodbridge Brewery. That is not a good situation.
You know what? If Clay Holmes goes to brewery, I'll go to that.
He is. No, he's booked.
When is it? When is it? I would
have to look it up, but it's
only if I could just say you suck. It's only. No, listen. Holmes is just every year, first 2 months, he's the best pitcher ever, And at the end, he looks like a double-A player. Anyway, enough with the Yankees. They suck right now. I hope they turn it around. All the other fans, you're being so hard on your team. No, I watch the games. You watch it. That's a big thing. When you watch the games, you see who sucks. I watched Hard Knocks with the Giants. Did you watch that at all?
Ooh, yeah, I did. Oh, that's tonight. Yeah.
Second.
I remember we went over this last week, how it's like hard for me to watch because it's the Giants.
Right.
But
you must love it now.
I was fascinated.
First of all,
this is great.
This is why, if I was an owner of a team, I would say no to this until the league finds me.
They don't have a choice.
I would fight it. Oh, we got COVID.
They fought it, and they got pushed to the prior season thing.
I can't tell people how unimpressive the Giant front office. You know what it sounds like? The Giant front office sounds like what we're talking about right now, like how we talk. This guy, who's this guy? He stinks. That guy's good. Most unimpressive. There was what happened to that old guy in the back with the shirt that doesn't fit? Like, got to get that guy from Clemson. He's a baller. Like, everybody looks like they're selling insurance, and they're sitting around. They all look 12 years old, and the one guy's talking about eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Shane there, like what? And then the guy's going through running backs, like and then John Mara comes in, and he looks like yeah, wish we could keep Barkley. What is he imitating Biden on this? Are you kidding me? He looks like a boob.
I've met John Mara. He is a very he's a very intimidating person. So like, I don't know if it's like, like when you're in front, it's like being in front of
you were 12 when you worked for the Giants. Okay.
No, I was 21. I was, I was 12, an adult.
21 to me is 12. Okay. Still, he looked, and that was years ago. And I just think the whole show, why would you agree to that? Oh my God. It's awful. I can't wait. I hope they look better as this thing goes on.
The quote of the first episode was, I'm not going to have a $40 million quarterback handing the ball off to a $12 million back. And I was like,
oh my God.
I was like,
now, with all due respect to the football Giants, I'm telling you right now, like, if Barkley gets hurt even for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, in my opinion, the Giants made the right decision. Like, in other words, everybody's thinking Barkley's going to tear it up, and he might. Let's face it, he could. But they got a good line, the Eagles.
They got a good offense over there.
You have to let this play out, because if he gets injured, that was the argument for not doing it. And or another thing you have to do math here. So you got how much did it for this season? What did you pay? What would you have paid for Barkley? What did you pay for the new running back? I don't know what his salary is. And then you got to look at stats. So in other words, if Barkley has a better year, but it's like, he had a better year, but like, you literally got to go by that, because then, if the guy only has like 300 yards less than Barkley on the season,
you probably paid half the price. So
half the price. So yeah,
it really, honestly, it just breaks down to overall team performance. That's how you're going to be able to judge this. Because if the Giants go 3-14, you're not going to sit there and be like, it's because we didn't have Barkley. Like, there's a lot more. There's a lot more underlying issues than Barkley.
I did like what Shane said.
Like, if the Eagles go 14-3, you're not going to be like, it's because they got Saquon. It's like, no, they have a good team. Like,
and I did like when Shane said, like, no, we're going to try to get a better. Our line is better, and we're going to try to get Jones protected, because we got a year and a half on this guy, and then we'll know, which is true, because they ain't going to do nothing after this year. And 8 games into the season, the following year, if we suck and he's the quarterback, they're gonna bench him.
I mean, I hate to break it to you. I know it's only July 9th, but I'm gonna go on record now and say the Giants are in the top 3 of the draft next year. I don't think they have a good team. Their defense is actually pretty good, but you're gonna have to be able to score points. And when I look at that offense, I'm like, okay, where are the points coming from?
There's 3 issues. How the running game is, right? Is Daniel Jones decent? And the only big question mark, and I know, because one of my favorite Cowboys is CD Lamb. I did hear from some people that work for the Giants that drive off the road a lot, that this receiver from LSU is lighting it up. So if you have a good receiver, bro, that's a game changer.
You also have to have a good quarterback to throw it to him. So
I think Jones will be. You got to remember, he was throwing to me, you, and Chris Gucci. So If he has a decent receiver, that could be it. But even then, 7 or 8 games. I agree with you. If I had to bet, will the Giants be in the top 6 of the draft next year? That's a good bet. There's nothing there. Anyway, the whole thing sucks. I hate the show. I hate everybody. Anyway, everybody looks stupid. Like, I want my brother to work for the Giants. He would straighten it out. That's how I feel. In other news, pickleball, I suck now. I don't know what it is. I can't believe everybody's better than me now. It's like I am like Volpe, or I'm like the LeMahieu of pickleball. I'm pissed. I can't be this shitty. I'm watching guys who suck. They're better than me now. I hate it. I have to make a comeback player of the year. It's
Father
such an
Time
easy
is
game.
undefeated, Jimmy.
But in bigger news, maybe it's because I transferred my talents to the old ball game, softball. I am 13 for 25 on the year, 520 batting average. Now, it's not 706. Don't have the legs for that anymore. I'm 4th on the team in batting, 4th in singles, 5th in triples, which is always a fun stat. But last night, dude, I made a diving play in the hole, came up throwing, got him. Nestor Shilak with the call there. We're a pretty good team. We've only lost 1 or 2 games. So
I was gonna say, what's the record? It's doubleheaders on Monday.
No, 1 game. Only 1 game this week. We have 3 Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. 3 games, and it was hot last night.
Oh, that's also every time you text me about your baseball stats, it's the same team.
Oh, yeah, I play on the same team. Yeah,
I didn't know there was multiple nights a week. That's cool.
No, yeah, they play Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. But Tyson Hogan checks in with a bobblehead Johnny Trino day here, Shay. But the problem is, it's great. I play second, a little first. I catch sometimes. Just like I'm playing all positions over there. But we have a pretty good team.
When are you going to show up to the field? When are you going to show up to the field with to do the book with puka beads on?
That's what it is, bro. That's a little hint there. We're going to get to that in a second. But well, I guess we can talk about it now. Who cares? The pilot for Beer League is actually finished, maybe 99% finished, really, which is incredible. It's been we started shooting that in 85, and we actually were shooting the pilot before the movie Beer League came out. That's how ahead of the curve we were. But we just sent it out to the cast. Dave's got it. Dave is going to be editing for some little trailer preview.
Yep, it's on my to do for tomorrow, so I will get some stuff out.
If he doesn't get it, we could. I know you got a big week. It could wait. No, at this point, anything can wait a week. The reason why I know you're going to get on it because you're in the damn thing. There'll be some fine footage of Dave destruction. But we're hesitant. This is such a silly game. Me and Dave were talking about yesterday. We don't know really what to put in the trailer because, it's only one pilot and we're going to be shopping it out at various places. We don't want to tease it where all the jokes are given out, so that way.
Oh, you know what's funny? You sent me I think you sent me the final or the first cut, and then I got the final cut and I watched it. I didn't last time. I don't know, maybe it was added, but I didn't stay through the credits last time. Everybody needs to make sure that once they do see this, watch the whole thing through.
Well, I didn't want. I shut it off. Is it longer credits now?
Well, there's like extra takes and stuff. It's actually really good.
You know what? I'm embarrassed. Well, again,
it fades to black. So normally the normal person would be like, okay,
right? That's oh yeah. Well,
but for whatever reason, I was actually secretly showing somebody else, and I was like,
yeah. But if I shut, wait a minute, time out. I'm in it. And if I shut it off, then again, Tom Baldinger. Also, another thing, please, everyone, don't forget the beginning of this pilot uses the first webisode a little bit. We cut it down, so don't think, I saw this already. It's not 3 minutes long; it's about 20 minutes long. There's a lot of different shit going on that we're really happy with. We've been getting very good reviews so far. I sent it to some friends I trust. I also sent it to friends that are just friends of mine who I said, give me an honest opinion. And they mentioned a couple things, but most of the time they were overwhelmingly positive. I just got to tell
you what, and this is something I'm going to just offer on behalf of Jimmy. If you're a current Patreon member and you upgrade your Patreon there's a chance maybe we'll send you a private link to screen it early.
And Dave Sturchill with a bomb for 3, and it's good. I just found out that 2 of the actresses, Gabby and Natalie, watched it, and they're both very happy with it here at Shea. So that is that. So anyway, more on that you're going to start seeing some beer league shit coming up. But of course, this is a fine part of the show here because it's cornholelevel.com time here. Go to cornholelevel.com. Why, Dave? Listen, I spoke to your wife this weekend, and because of this wrestling thing, your cornhole is it's just not level. It's just, and what you got to do is just take this cornhole board right here and you hook it right on your cornhole, Dave. And isn't it funny that your cornhole and the Rutgers sign go hand in hand? Because if Rutgers loses to Virginia Tech, this is going to be my situation. But anyway, you hook it right on cornholelevel.com. They're $19.95. You get 20% off if you put in JP Show. These things are really cool. I'm not kidding around. It's a cool little product. Use it as a gag gift, a busting balls gig if one of your neighbors or somebody you know is really into cornhole, which is a little bit harder than pickleball. And I think I haven't played cornhole in 2 years. I'm still ranked like 48th in the country. But check it out. 20% off for JP Show. My buddy Mike Caprio is the owner. Cornholelevel.com. Go check it out. But of course, they also sponsor a fine segment of the show here at Shea. What is that, Dave?
And that would be Jimmy's credits. And we've dove right back into the wonderful world of not being TV. It's HBO. And we went back into HBO and we took out I was very intrigued by this because this was a series that I actually wanted to dive into and I never got around to it, but the cast is like incredible. It's called The Deuce, and Jimmy was in The Deuce, and that stars James Franco, Gyllenhaal's sister. I forget her name.
Listen, it's Maggie Gyllenhaal. It's got David Krumholtz, who lives in Mahwah, not far from me. And also Ralph Macchio. Lombardozzi. We were joking around. Anytime Lombardozzi is the starter, and I come off the bench and feed him the ball. Like, definitely the sidekick. I am the Robin to Dominic Lombardozzi. He'll laugh his ass off at that. But I did season 3, episode 2. I played. It was directed by Susanna White, this English lady. It was very cool. Casting director Alexa Fogel. She does Sky Jam. She's a big time casting director, so it's cool. Now, I played a character. I don't know. Listen, I played a guy named Robert DiBernardo, who in all the Gotti movies and all that, it was one of the movies. It was played by Frank Vincent and some other guys. And in Wikipedia for when you go to Robert DiBernardo, I'm mentioned with Frank Vincent also playing him in a movie, which is funny. I can't even get a Wikipedia page. That's another discussion for the off season. I can't get verified. I can't do nothing.
Really?
Meanwhile, 140 credits in.
I thought you could basically create your own.
Every time I try to do it, it goes into Netherlands, and I don't know. We got to solve that. Let's put it that way. But now let me explain something about this show. Okay, what turned a lot of people off in the beginning, the Deuce is the nickname for 42nd Street. Okay, it is about the porn industry, but it's not. They don't really show porn. I thought the subject matter of this show was awesome because it's almost like they did a 30 on 30 on the porn industry, on how it started out in New York and how it was done with film and crews. And there was a lot of money in it, but there was a process, editing. It was like it's kind of like independent filmmaking, except it was porn. And then how 42nd Street evolved with getting into video, the putting the quarters in the machine with the video, the live dancers, where I don't know if anybody's ever been to 42nd Street. Back in the day, you could go into a room and watch some girl be naked, whatever the hell. They don't show that. They just show the process and how the mob started to have. There was like if you wanted to get a hooker, you met her on the street, and then you went up into a building. And then there's various rooms in there, and you did your thing, whatever. But it's all about how the mob controlled the building, the fees, how they own the cops, and once it got away from, the real prostitute situation. It got into the machines and this. I thought it was fascinating. Like, how does all this shit work? And my character, if you read anything about him, he was the biggest porn mobster guy in the world. He was under Gotti. He's the only guy under Gotti who didn't have a crew. No henchmen, no tough guys. He was like a bookworm. All he did was, it was like a product to him. It was like, moving tapes all over the world. And he started making crazy money, especially when the videotape started coming out. And Gotti supposedly got nervous because all this guy had to do is pick up a phone and say, hey, listen, I'm making $7 million a day. You be my henchman. If he got a crew, he could have overtaken Gotti in 2 days. And Gotti got nervous about that, called up a guy, and next thing you know, he was one of those guys rumored to be shot in the head, never to be seen again. No body, no discovery.
Buried right next to Hoffa.
Nothing. Him and Jimmy Hoffa gone. So that character was pretty cool. Of course, my scene is in the back. I'm in the back of a taxi. And it's actually a really funny, weird moment. It's me and James Franco. Now, if you're sitting in a cab with Jimmy Palumbo for 6 hours, you're going to get a boatload of bullshit coming out of my mouth, right? But I was in the beginning, I started talking. He's a really nice guy. But the driver of the taxi, we started talking about the Screen Actors Guild and benefits and residuals and how you get your health. We were in like a normal actor conversation. James Franco was clueless. He's like, oh, what do you mean? Like, you have to make a certain amount to qualify for your health benefit, and then the residual. So you get residuals you get them from, like, it was like, I was looking at him like, what are you, a jerk off? Like, I'm like, yeah, but he was like, no, I want to know. I need to know about this. I don't know. He pretty much was saying, I want to hear from a regular, non-popular D-level actor how it all works. I explained it to him, and I also talked about the different strikes and commercials and voiceovers. I was giving him like the history of the Screen Actors Guild Day here and say, but he could have been nicer. In our scene was wild because the character was a friend of a friend of me. He's able to get a sit down with me, but I only meet him in the back of a cab. And you don't even know if, like, I don't even like this guy. Maybe I want to get him knocked off too. He's got a bad plastic bag with tapes in it. But what he was selling to me, and I dismiss it initially, was like amateur porn, real porn, which is all over the internet now. And he's basically saying, like, no, we don't need to do these productions. We do these cheap ones. It's real people just having sex, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at him like, I'm a guy that's been producing and selling this crap for 20 years. And I end up, I kind of mock him out, like, look, yeah, it's a really cool scene. I thought I played well. Once again, Jimmy Palumbo thinks he hit a double off the wall. I touch second base. Boone comes out, takes me out of the game, never to be seen again. But it was a really cool scene. I end up, taking the bag from him and telling him to get the fuck out of my car, kind of deal. But it was a cool scene. And hanging out with him, he was going through some shit at the time. James Franco got caught in that. I don't want to say Me Too. Maybe some people say he's a creep. I don't know. He was nice to me in the back of the cab with the other actors, the cameras all over the place. I didn't even realize till after we shot all the crap he was been going through. I think he got caught being shitty to women. I don't know anything about it. If it is, that sucks. If it's BS and it's not really true, well, that sucks for him as well. So either way, if you're a creep, you're a creep, bro. And that's it. I don't care what you do for a living. But if like I said, I worked with him, sat in the back of a cab for 6 hours. But the other thing was, we shot this on West 37th Street on like a regular block in the cab with like people were walking by all the time. And we weren't allowed to say what we were shooting. It was really, I've never shot something so open. Well, I guess Broad City was really open, but like usually when they shoot something with cameras that are attached to the car, they usually block off the whole street. But it was West 37th Street at like 7 o'clock at night. It was really, people were like walking by all the time. Of course, they were looking to see James Franco. They would peer into the taxi and see me. And I wish I had a camera. The sheer disappointment.
Disappointment.
Oh my God! What it was like? It was like the Knicks draft picks. You know, that's the way it was here in Shea.
That's James Franco? Nah, it's just some fucking chubby old guy. I don't know
Jimmy
who that is.
Yeah, who's that fat bastard? I didn't get a chance to meet Machio, though I did text him when I was shooting that. But it was just a, you know, it was just a cool experience. The writers and producers, I sat with them and bullshitted with them too. And I was telling them about whatever the hell I had going on at the time and different shows I've done. They were cool. So it was an excellent thing to be on. I loved it. I think the show is great. At the end of the show, I don't want to ruin for anybody, but they kind of do the full circle of 42nd Street. So those of you who live in New York will understand what I mean by that. But I think it's like 42nd Street and Times Square is a character in the show. I think it's a great show. You got to just get over the porn thing. I know it's almost like Friday Night Lights is really not about football. It's the backdrop, but it's not about like second and third, first down. That's not what it is. It's, there's definitely some, clanity dressed girls bouncing around. When I say clanity, what the hell kind of word is that?
I don't know what word you're going for on that
one. I'm imitating Joe Biden here, Shay. But there's girls bouncing around with, but there's no it's R-rated.
It's not Boogie Nights, guys. It's not Boogie Nights.
It's not Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights is more about how it was in LA after this kind of deal. So maybe it's got that's where it had his, what's the word I'm looking for? Inspiration came from Boogie Nights.
I still quote that movie with, is it Philip Seymour Hoffman? God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
He's in the car. He's like, fucking idiot. I still do that.
Listen, that guy, God, I can't believe he's dead. Well, that sucks.
Sandy Lyle from Along Came Polly. I mean, come on.
He can't. When I watch him on camera, watching the show, there's tons of actors of this, but he's the up there, the top 5, where I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't do that. If they said, Jimmy, you're doing this role, we were going to give it to Philip Seymour Hoffman. You're going to be in this movie. I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I got a softball game. That guy. You got your Daniel Day-Lewis, Philip Seymour Hoffman. There's a few guys that I'm like, I watch it and I go, I couldn't even, how does he do that? Like, that's crazy to me. He's great, but he's great. Sucks that he's dead.
Gone
too soon. Yep. So that's it. The Deuce here, season 3, episode 2. Check it out. Cute little scene. I forgot about that scene, actually. I don't even know if I have that on my, I guess that's on my reel.
I didn't see it.
But I got to get that up there. Which, of course, brings us to Absolute Eyewear here at Shea. Craig and Johnine Michaud. They own this joint, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326-3937. I will finally admit, Jaybird, Johnine sent me these awesome glasses, and I no longer have them. I left them at the pickle courts. Maybe I mentioned on the air. I'm still pissed. But remember, they're full-service opticians. They got everything over there. Ray-Ban, Coach, Ralph Lauren, Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors, Vogue, Maui Jim, Costa Del Mar, and Charles Oakley hangs out at the place. Discounts for seniors, $100 off a complete pair if you mention me, Dave's wrestling thing. I got to find out if Jaybird's going to go down to that Tiki Bar. Maybe she will.
Pretty cool.
I'll see if I can get her to go down there. They've been in business like 19 years, 5 days a week. They're closed on Wednesday. Why, Dave?
That's because they used to play softball for organization.
Why are they closed on Sundays?
Oh, because that's the Lord's Day. No, it's for the New York Football Giants football games.
Football Giants, they took off those days because they can play softball and watch the Giants lose. Anyway, go check them out. Good people. Right down in downtown Woodbridge, New Jersey, by the train tracks. They're good people. Go check it out. And when you leave there, you don't feel like a jerk off. There you go.
It's going to be another t-shirt.
My daughter Natalie is heading down to Atlantic City starting on Saturday for her nationals. I want to wish my daughter good luck there. I'll be getting down there. I'm not sure what day yet, but I'll be down there to check her dancing out. Couple of things of note here. Did you read the article about the guy? I'm becoming obsessed with the WNBA. I admit it now. Do you know the Liberty?
Then no, I could just preface this by saying no, I did not.
No. Well, maybe you did. No, maybe you did. But I say what I'm going to say. By the way, everyone just keeps on mocking out Caitlin Clark, and all she does is light it up. I don't understand any of that. That's pure racism. That's another story. The Liberty use on their scout team when they practice, they use men like Division I ex basketball players. Do you know that? So when they're playing a team, their scouting team are men. I'm like, why doesn't every WNBA team do that? When you're practicing, go against, guys who are bigger, stronger, and they, blah, blah, blah. And that way, when you get on the court, it's a big difference. I did not know that. I thought that was cool. I wonder if any other WNBA teams do that. I thought that was interesting. And that would be kind of cool if you're an ex-player, a college player or something. You probably get at least $100, right, to practice or something like that.
Maybe. I was assuming not doing it for free.
I would just take it to the whole sky jam over Caitlin Clark, and she's down with a twisted knee.
Just like a posterized, fucking nail.
Who is that D3 player out of Stockton State College who ruined Caitlin Clark's career? I just said Stockton State College.
Palumbo, a Middlesex County College grad.
Couple of other things too. This weekend, 4th of July, I was down in Seagirt, down at my brother's house and my daughter. We had a blast. I got to hang out with Mark Ciardi, who's going to be on our show soon enough. He's a big-time producer. My nephew works for him now. He did The Rookie, Invincible. What's the one? Miracle on Ice, Chappaquiddick. I'm forgetting a major sports movie in there. I can't think of it, but he's produced like 20 movies, all of which you've seen. He had to deal with Disney for years. He's doing one now about some guy playing football in Europe. And they play for pizza and stuff. Supposedly that's pretty cool that they're going to start shooting it in a couple weeks out in Italy. Yep, there we go. That is the picture up on the screen of my nephews, including my daughter there. That's the 5, Eric, Bob, Jimbo, John Henry, Tommy, and Natalie, all at my brother's little that's his cabana, which is perfect. Of course, there's soccer in the background. I was vehemently against that. We were down there all weekend. We also hung out with Matt Madlinger. Remember the Rutgers guy? He was the one who said the last time Bird lost the game was Rutgers in the NIT. You remember that guy? It still makes me laugh. I hung out with him and his son. We were busting balls about Rutgers and stuff like that. We also did a golf tournament, old guy uncles versus the nephews. And we went to pitch and putt by Belmar there. Dude, I suck at golf so bad. Literally the holes were 40 yards away. But to me, with those irons, I was hitting them deep. I was hitting them short. I was awful. You had to get, but I didn't like the rules we were doing. I wanted to do a scramble. They were like, no, the best score of all 4 years. I'm like, that's stupid. You can have 3 guys who suck and 1 guy who's really good. And that team wins. No. It's got to be a scramble. Mm-hmm. But in the end, the old man beat him by a stroke because my brother-in-law, Steve Riccardi, with a monster 34-yard chip and in for a birdie.
Really?
On a par. They're all par 3s. He chipped one in. Dude, it was the longest thing I've ever seen. He just chipped it up and it went in the hole. It was that beautiful thing. I was missing putts of 2 feet. I was McElroy all day. Plus, it was ungodly hot. I was sweating. I wanted a beer. My brother started to get he was awful the first night. And my brother's so competitive. He started to dig down. He was parring holes at the end, saved us. We won by a stroke, which is embarrassing. Then we started doing with the plastic balls in the pool, you float like the little green on the pool. Mm-hmm. And I thought we were going to get then we were going to get in an argument over what constituted the rule changes. And of course, I had a couple transfusions in me, so I was like, "No, that is not the rule." We had a rules committee, being stupid about it. And once again, I stunk at that as well. So my nephew John Henry just casually was popping it up on this green in the middle of the water. I had Natalie go in the water trying to make waves when they went. Difficult green here at Shea, but it was a lot of fun going down there. We went to Rod's Champagne Porch. Rod's over there in Seagirt. Had some drinks there. That was fun.
You made mention of Rod's on on your 5K or 7K or whatever the hell you ran. You made a mention that you were going to take a shit there. So
yeah, I almost shit at Rod's or Bar A. I also shout out to a fan, Troy Chabaro. He asked me to do a cameo for his best friend. I'm on Cameo, so anybody wants me to shoot a video, I'm like the cheapest cameo guy. Some people, like Ralph Macchio, probably charges $3,000 to do a cameo, and they all do it. Everybody's like, I'm above that. Bullshit. Someone says do a 30-second video for $3,000. Who's not going to take that? I'm not saying it's $3,000. I don't know what it is. I'm $30.
To put that in perspective, I'm $30.
But my brother has a beer league poster in his garage. So I shot he said his buddy's a wiffle ball fan too. So I had like a wiffle ball bat. I had my 706 hat on, and I shot it in front of the beer league. It was pretty fun. He got a huge kick out of it. So shout out to your buddy's birthday there, Troy. Also, I'm wearing the Tecovas hat for a reason. I can't believe you didn't mention it yet on the show.
I was waiting for it. You actually just went like this 706 hat, and I was like, oh my God.
I was like, yeah, that's when I realized it too. I forgot about it. I should have opened up the show with that.
He's looking right at himself.
Well, my nephew, Eric, his friend owns it. He's like the CEO of it's a boot company. I don't know if they're the ones where the bottom part is leather and the top part's more like synthetic, or so one part that goes underneath the jeans isn't as nice as the bottom part, so they're a little less expensive. But they got all kind. It's cool shit. I was in their store in Austin, Texas. They're all over the place. Go to tecovas.com. Go to the internet, and in the message, just say, "Hey, Jimmy Palumbo sent you." Of course, I'm letting him know that I am a size 10. And that's all I need to say there. But I will. I told Eric I would support his buddy's company. I have no problem with that. And listen, I'm a size 10, and I could use.
And listen, I'm a size 12. So listen,
there you go. And you know what? I could use a pair. Listen, you're a Cowboy fan. When you go to Dallas, you should have cowboy boots on.
I should fit in, right?
I used to wear them. I'm older than you. There was a time where cowboy boots were in style, and I still think they look cool on a guy. And I want a pair of boots. No. That's not true, but I am a size 10. Also,
no, but seriously,
size 10. I read something. I don't know. Again, this kind of shit makes me. By the way, did you hear Raul Mondesi? Remember him on the Yankees?
I remember him. Yeah, why?
He's going to jail. He just got caught like some kind of government wrongness in Costa Rica or Dominican Republic. By the way,
not a good place to be.
The Yankees are just like ex-Yankees are creeps and convicts now. They're getting like NBA players. But I read something of interest to us. You ever read those articles like, 2 glasses of wine a day is good for you, blah blah blah.
Sure.
So there's an article saying that like any booze is like bad for you, even if it's 1 glass a day, whatever. Right? You read those things, and then but time out. But the article said, if you drink, you shave off 2.5 months of your life. And I was like, wait a minute. So I could drink for 85 years and I would have made it to August, but I die in May. That was the worst PR article ever. I think the wine industry put that article out. Like, hey, listen, if you drink, you're going to die way sooner. By 2.5 months. I don't understand that. That shouldn't even print that article. You know what? To be honest with you, even if it's 2.5 years, I'm in. Think about it. 87, you're probably shitting yourself. You don't know what's going on. You got some kind of Alzheimer's. You can't move. And, what the hell? Why people that don't drink and they gain 2.5 months? The Knicks want to talk it over. What else? What else we got here? This could be a short show here, Chick. We do got to talk about, I got it right here. I knew I missed something. On the way back from Seagirt, I stopped into a fella's house you may know if you're a fan of the show, Mr. Dave Sturcio, whose daughter turned 5, little Stella. And I had an absolute blast. Natalie was jonesing. She couldn't wait to see your kids. And we had to go shopping for a toy. And so I knew right away, being a veteran uncle, talking about being a clubhouse guy, Natalie picked out some little Play-Doh thing, which will be all over your house in 2 days. And also a little sponge thing. And I was like, wait a minute, though. I don't care whose birthday it is. You can't show up with a toy for the one kid. You got to have a little. You got to give innings. Miles has to get in the game for one inning at least.
I agree.
Listen, Stella's birthday. She's going to go 7 or 8. We know that. But Miles got to pitch the 8th inning, strikeouts lefties or something. So we found a little cars and stuff for him. He was playing with it right away.
He has slept with them every night since, so he's not letting those go.
Great. But I laughed at it was about 107 degrees. And you were in the backyard, and I was like, whew. You had some not pool things, like water, what do you call them? Water games?
We had like a sprinkler and a kiddie pool. And
of course, your father was like, well, we only got one hose. We can't run the other ones while this one runs. I'm like, Dave, go grab the neighbor's hose. Like, I don't know.
My neighbor would have been totally cool with it, too. I just didn't do it.
Just totally do it. But I could see, we could only stay about an hour because we had to go to an event.
You missed the arrival of Elsa.
I saw the pictures, and listen,
that was big. She was
big.
First, I'm very, and this is no like knock or like, but like when I think Elsa, I think deep speed, right? I think she's gonna bat third for my team. This was a clubhouse girl.
Okay.
Well, this girl walked in. It looked like, and this is again, I asked my wife. I said, well, why does it look like she has 2 bruises on her forehead? Like it looks like somebody just popped her in the forehead. And she goes, I think those are pimples, and she just covered it up with makeup and it's running. I'm like, I don't care what it is. She looks like she's growing horns out of her head.
It's so funny. We had Elsa one party years ago, and I thought the girl definitely played receiver at LSU. There's no question about that. I was like, well, if I had to guard her, I would definitely get spun around at the 30-yard line. Well, here we go. She's the kind of girl you have to shuck at the line and hope you get a good pass rush.
Yeah, it's a hack of Elsa.
But we also had what show? We had 2 or 3 of these come over the years that came to the house, and we got lucky. They were all deep speed. But you might have got the 4th of July weekend. Everybody's away.
And what they charge, right? All the A class are out. They're on vacation. Where we get the D class Elsa, and she comes out there, and look, the kids ate it up. It was so much fun. They had a really great time. But like at the end of it, you're thinking like, I spent that much money on this thing, and then like at the end of it, I saw my wife on the phone with her. I said, "What are you getting her information?" She goes, "No, I'm sending her a tip." And in my mind, I'm like, why? Like, you know how much money we just spent on this lady? Like, and all of a sudden you want to throw another $50? Like, what's happening here?
Did she sing it all? Let it go, a cappella?
No, she sang a little bit, but there was more dance party-esque. And then they went into the shady area and they had like story time. And then they had like the limbo and shit. Like
they really think those kids really think it's her. I'm telling you.
Ready for this? I go to Stella. I'm like, Stella, after she left, I was like, I can't believe it, Stella. Elsa came to your party. She goes, well, that wasn't really Elsa.
There you go. Stella's on top of her game already.
Stella is way too advanced for my understanding right now.
Miles said to me, hey, Uncle Jimmy, we got this shitty Elsa girl coming up, but it's much cool that you were here.
Yeah, my mother-in-law comes walking up to me. She's like, I hear we have a celebrity here today. And I was like, oh, Jimmy. She's like, yeah. And then my father-in-law was like, what's he in? And I was like, I don't know. He's got like 140 credits. He'll roll them off all to you if you have a conversation with him for 5 minutes.
That's
but
so funny.
I'll give you the rundown quick. I was like, Friends. And then he goes, he looks familiar. I've seen him on HBO or something. I was like, well, he's in Boardwalk Empire. That's a big show. He's like, that's it. And I was like, oh, all right, cool.
If he saw me on Boardwalk Empire, he's got a keen eye for that scene wasn't all that long here, Shay. But listen, Elsa came in scoring 26 points a game, but at the Sturgio party, it has been all
Jimmy Palumbo. And I got the best of the best beers left in my fridge by Jimmy Palumbo. He brought a nice little sixer to the house of a banquet. The banquet beers.
You know what? I went into the liquor store down the street from you, and all of a sudden you can't buy what? You get 3 beers that are $75 a piece, right? Or you get you get a regular beer, but they only have 80 packs. That's showing up like, and I'm like, I just want to walk in with a little cig. I probably should have got wine for your wife or something, but I forgot to get some beer. And the only ones they had, you bring in bottles, they break, the kids' feet. You want to get cans. And the only option was a banquet beer, of course, which I actually like. So I'm sure you sucked. I tell you what, if I had stayed there longer, we would have been. That was a beer.
Let me tell you
drinking
something.
party.
I sweat so much throughout the course of the day. I bought a 12-pack of Corona Premiers. I must have drank, and no bullshit, 8 of them, maybe 9 of them. Didn't feel a damn thing.
I know. It
Didn't
was hot.
feel a damn. I was just drenched from head to toe. I was like, this is not effective at all.
You said something really, really funny, though. We were up on your deck. The guy next door, you used to know them really well, and then they moved out, but they have like a gorgeous pool right next to you. So you're like, I got to look at this every day. A big, beautiful pool. I'm like, you got to be friends with them, bro. All summer long. You got to bring time to walk over there with a nice cheesecake or something and say, hey.
Yeah.
But
you know what? I did walk over there a couple weeks ago. I said, something's beeping in your backyard. It won't stop.
Oh, yeah. Like, you know?
Can you address whatever that is? And
you should have said, hey, I'll fix the beeping. But my kids hop in the pool. We're sweating our balls off here at Shea. I know, but then, of course, I told you, be careful with the pool because that's just throw your checkbook in the water every week. Just throw it in. That's a money pit.
That's my dad. He's had one since 91, and every year
he'll tell you. The guy comes in the May. The valve on the heater on the side, the rod, the valve. You're like $300. wait. Why can't you take? I want to see what valve broke here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he won't actually be able to point it out.
That's it. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna probably do the show Monday next week.
Yeah, well, we got to work out a time. I'll figure it out. We'll iron it all out and stuff. But yeah, it'll get done.
Probably. I know you're going to be jacked up, but are you going to be in the studio Monday or are you going to be at home?
I'm going to be all over the place Monday. So I did finally find a hotel that I'm pleased with. Unfortunately, I had to spend a pretty penny. So I'll be down there Monday evening into Tuesday show day.
You're going to be in Point Pleasant at one of those hotels when you drive in.
Yeah.
You're going to the one on the left-hand side. It's not bad. I've been there.
It is actually the one on the left-hand side. It's actually gotten great reviews. So I was just
it's like one floor.
Yeah.
I think I stayed at, it was a wedding. Went to a wedding in Point Pleasant. I stayed. It wasn't bad. I mean, it's shore housing, but it's not that.
Right. It's like across the street from 7-Eleven. They're like, we don't have any coffee, but it's like you can go across the street and get 7-Eleven.
I look forward to this. And Dave's going to be promoting the shit out of it on my Facebook this week, I'm sure. Which you got to do anyway. Go check it out. It's what is the website again? I forget.
It's warontheshore.eventbrite.com for tickets. We're down to general admission only. First and second row is sold out. It's been sold out for like a little while now, but it's going to be fun, man. We just upped the production because why not spend more money? Why the hell not? It's the name of the game, man. We want to make some history down there. They've never had a pro wrestling event on the Tiki Bar beach, so.
And the weather right now looks like it's going to hold, which is awesome. We're getting
promising. Sunday, I had to be talked off a couple ledges because then you see like the scattered thunderstorms, 40%. It's like, the worst is when a little bit of a bitch. It's a little bit of a bitch dealing with that, but it's now on the app. Like it pops up now on your weather app. Like that's how close we are. For a while, I was going on weather.com and showing the monthly forecast, but right now we're looking at 89 and sunny. So.
That's going to be
with
a
a
nice
20%
hot
chance around
beer drinking day.
Whatever.
And me and Deej are going to be there. I'm going to try to get Tom. I'm going to try to get some of the band down there. And
that one part in beer league where he tries to cheers you with his glove and you just bolt right by him.
You still laugh at that. I know. You know what? I'm too close to it. I'm at the point now. I think I don't know.
You're too close to it, but I did show like a friend of mine who was just so happened to be at the studio passing by, and she saw me watching it. She's like, "What is this?" I was like, it's that thing I shot in October." She's like, "Oh, beer league." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I love the movie." And then I was like, "Well, then sit down, watch this with me real quick, see what you think." And she was laughing her ass off. So it's like, so I think there's something to this. I really do.
I'm hoping. And also we got to make sure we don't know where we're going to air it yet. That remains to be seen, but hopefully we could sell it to another production company and they can write a check and we'll be shooting more of these. That's the goal. I wish it was Netflix and Amazon.
Netflix, if you're watching.
Netflix,
I know Cobra Kai is on the forefront, but beer league.
And listen, we can get Ralph back in, and maybe you know what we were supposed to talk about mental health today, but I guess because of your show coming on, we can't talk about your mental health.
We'll talk about my nervous breakdown next month.
Yeah, next week. I promise you, we're going to have a little mental health thing after this wrestling thing is over. So Dave is still with us.
Right now, I'm a little jaded right now. So.
Yeah, everybody sucks. Day and shade. All right, well, that's it. Also, don't forget Pine Tar Bar and Grill, 121 South Main Street, Forked River, 609-489-4286. It really is the best sports bar ever. Dave, you would love it. This TV's all over the place. The way he's got it set up is cool. And including some photos of my dad and him playing ball and Yankee stuff, Garrick stuff my dad had. Also, Lisa Ruane, mental health, 201-725-1251 if you're struggling. Dave's probably going to call her now. And Lisa will be available during the event.
Yeah, I need her backstage. Can you just talk me off this ledge real quick? Because I'm thinking about tying a brick to my foot and just walking into the Atlantic. What do you think?
Or it's gonna be like, hey, Lisa, hi. It's pouring rain right now. It's 5:30. I need help.
Yeah. I'm actually standing on that bridge that leads into Point Pleasant. If you could just give me a call, that'd be great.
He's staying at a shitty hotel in Point Pleasant. All right, everybody. We'll see you.
Never find the body. Take care, everybody.
God bless.